What's up, a Cinema Shogun here, and today is Gabby Petito's birthday. She would have been 23 years old today. And it sucks that her life was ended so short by a complete piece of shit like Brian Laundrie. And you know, when I go online and I'm on Instagram and I'm on Twitter, I see a lot of people sharing sad posts about her birthday, sharing photos with sad captions. And I get everyone deals with things differently, but I've learned a lot of lessons in my short time on this earth. And I didn't have it easy. One of the hardest lessons I had to learn is learning to accept what you cannot control. You know, I lost my mom when I was really young. I lost my best friend recently, whose death remains unsolved within the past few years. And I never wanted to grow into someone who grew a certain hatred or resentment towards anyone or towards life in general. And sometimes it's hard not to do that when certain things happen to you in life and when you lose people. And oftentimes you may, depending on how religious you are, you may even question God and just question life itself. Why do things like this happen? So I had to learn the lesson of learning to accept what I cannot control. I know we all wish this didn't happen. We all wish that we didn't even know who Gabby Petito was and she was just living her life still. Maybe we would have found her on YouTube and she would have had a flourishing YouTube career living her van life. But we all wish that this didn't happen. But we don't have any control over that. We can't rewind time and stop this from happening. We have no control over that. But what we do have control over is ourselves. And I think to honor Gabby Petito's birthday, instead of being sad and putting like this sad vibes and grief out into the universe, let's put some positive vibes out into the universe. Let's spread some positivity today for Gabby Petito, in Gabby Petito's name. In honor of her birthday, let's spread some positivity. You know, ever since this case started, people have been questioning, why was this case so popular? Some said it was because, she was a social media star and she was on social media and she had a vlog and, this, that, and the third. But in reality, she didn't have a big following on social media. She wasn't what you would call a social media star. She had a small following, and yes, she was on the road to gaining more. But I don't think that's what you could attribute it to. I think that's a factor that played into it. The fact that we had all these pictures and videos of Gabby. Definitely the video from the traffic stop and the body cams. There were several factors that played into it. I know a lot of people wanted to bring up, it was missing white woman syndrome. And I absolutely hate that. Because there are tons of other missing white women across the country. And their stories didn't get as big as Gabby's. So I think that there was a lot of factors that worked together in making this one of the biggest, stories that we've ever seen. But I think one of those key factors was that for some reason, we all felt a connection to Gabby. Maybe I'm just speaking for myself here, but I would like to believe that other people felt this way as well. And, I don't know Gabby from a can of paint, but there was something about her that she just radiated like this genuine love of life. I can't really quite put my finger on it, but there was something about her. Like I said, she radiated this energy off of her. And even not ever being around her in person, of course, but just through her pictures, her videos, there was like, you could sense a genuine love of life, a genuine positive vibe. Someone that just seemed energetic and happy with life and wanting to explore life, someone the positivity radiated off of her in many ways. And I think that's what drew a lot of us to her. And that's why a lot of people got more interested in this case. because we were drawn to her positivity, and we were more hurt by what happened to her because we sensed that energy from her. And maybe some of y'all don't feel the same, and that's perfectly fine, but at least this is how I felt. At least that's why this case stuck out to me more than other cases. And that's not to take that away from anyone else. Of course not. But I'm just saying that there was something there. I feel like a legit positive energy there that drew a lot of people towards this case. I would say that there's thousands of Brian Laundries out there. In your town, in your city, in your state, in your country, there's Brian Laundries walking around all around you. But there was only one Gabby Petito. And I don't feel like there is enough people in this world that are still doing their best to spread positivity and to spread light in this world that has become so dark. And I feel like it's up to us. When one of those lights gets turned off, too soon, when one of those candles, they get dimmed before they were supposed to, it's up to us to take up the slack. I feel like Gabby had a full life ahead of her, and she would have spread so much love, joy, and positivity from that life. Unfortunately, she will never get to live those days out. But those of us here, those of us who were touched by her story, we could pick up that slack. We could pick up where she left off and spread as much positivity as we can. I woke up today, and sometimes, you're a little bit sleepy. You don't want to get out of bed, but I woke up just like that today. I went to work, and then for some reason, I got let off of work early. For the first time in my life, I'm off work early. I go to grab something to eat, and the car in front of me, they were listening to country music really loud. And the guy that was driving the car had these long dreads, and he was shaking his dreads, dancing and jigging to a country song. And I was kind of shocked because it's a sight that you never see. I'm like, what? This dude's in here with dreads, shaking his dreads to country music, dancing. I mean, obviously he's pretty happy today. And then when I pulled up to the drive-thru window, it turns out that he paid for my meal. So I paid for the person behind me. And I was just driving home man, today is really positive. It's, it was rainy yesterday. It was kind of drizzly this morning, but there was a sun ray shining. And I was just driving home man, today is pretty dope. I like today. Today's an extremely positive day. What is it about today? What is it about today that all of these things just seem to be going so right? And that's when I realized, okay, it's Gabby Petito's birthday. And maybe the two have nothing to do with each other. But there was just so much positivity happening for me today. And I really drew the connection, today is a day that we should all spread positivity in the name of Gabby Petito. Instead of being sad, instead of thinking about, certain things, pay it forward. Go out there and spread some love, spread some joy, spread some happiness. Tell someone they look nice today. Buy someone a meal. Give the homeless person $1. Or even at the very least, do something positive for yourself. There's a lot of people, and my mother was one of these people, who they do so much for everybody else. So much for everybody else. You name it, they're doing something for you and you and you and you, and they never take the time of day to care about themselves. Care about yourselves. If you're one of those people and your self-care has been lacking, you've been lacking on your self-care, spread some positivity in your own life. And do it in the name of Gabby Petito. Because like I said, it's up to us to pick up that slack. What happened to Gabby Petito is extremely sad. It's an extremely negative situation, but you can take the positive out of it and you can work with it. Here on this YouTube channel, I grew this platform largely because of the Gabby Petito case. And that doesn't fly over my head. I realize that. I realized that a lot of my subscribers came from me covering the Gabby Petito case. And therefore, I feel a responsibility to do my best to spread the truth about other cases, to stay on top of certain cases, and to spread positivity myself. You know, we talk about mostly negative things on this channel. We're talking about true crime cases. We're talking about people mysteriously dying. We're talking about the war in Ukraine. You know, we're talking about teachers indoctrinating students, you name it. We're talking about all types of negative things on this channel. But I don't want y'all to ever take it in a negative way. I want y'all to take whatever positivity you can from it and work with it. Because at the same time, you have to acknowledge the negativity that's going on in this world in order to make more positivity come through. You can't just ignore problems and issues. In fact, sometimes you need to highlight them, so things like that don't continue happening going forward. At the very least, people are more knowledgeable about what's really happening out here going forward. But always, regardless of what we cover on this channel, remember that my ultimate goal is to spread positivity. My ultimate goal is to entertain you all, inform you all, and at the very least, or even one of the most important factors, is to take you away from whatever you're going through for a moment and transfer you into a different world and to entertain you, inform you, and just to get you away from whatever you're going through. I know in many ways some people would think, well, man, looking at true crime and stuff like that is depressing, but in reality, a lot of times people are interested in these things. And even though we talk about negative things, it's doing something positive for them because it's taking them away from whatever problems they're dealing with. Just always remember when you're here on this channel that I want you to be as positive as possible. And I'm all about spreading positivity. I'm all about spreading love. And I hope today, for Gabby Petito's birthday, that you all do something positive for someone or do something positive for yourself. And with that, I'm not sure what else to say. I mean, I have a lot of things to say, but we're not going to get all lovey-dovey and emotional here, okay? But I just want you all to have a wonderful day. Happy birthday to Gabby Petito. I'm thankful that at the very least, she brought all of us together. All of you all watching this video, or the majority of you all watching this video, she brought a lot of us together, and it brought me closer to a lot of you all, and I thank her for that, and I thank the universe for that. And I think the best thing that we can do to honor her, like I've said 1,000 times in this video, is to just spread love, joy, and positivity, because that's what Gabby Petito was bringing to the world. And unfortunately, she can't bring it to the world anymore, so we can through her. But let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. Spread some positivity to the people in the comment section. You're here, you just watched this video, go down to the comments, pick someone out, and say something happy, say something nice to them. Hit that thumbs up button, subscribe, ring that notification bell, all that good stuff. Happy birthday, Gabby.